Today in class, we are going to be making a puzzle cube. So this will be a 3 by 3 by 3 set of cubes that will lock together. That'll be a puzzle for how to put together. So we're going to go through what that looks like. Right now I have my file already named puzzle cube. You're going to have to save your unnamed file and name it puzzle cube or something similar. But then at that point, let's start by creating a sketch. We're going to pick this bottom horizontal plane. I'm going to create a rectangle, and I'm going to have the sides be 0.75 inches on both sides. And I'm going to finish my sketch, and then I'm going to extrude this up 0.75 inches. So now I have a perfect cube. I'm going to then create a chamfer on all sides, and to select each of these edges, I could go through and pick them one at a time, but instead the easier route would be to hit chamfer, and then if we click and drag, I guess we have to click, try that one more time, modify, chamfer, hold shift, and then click, and we start to create this window. And if we circle everything in, we can let go, and we have selected all of the faces. So now we're going to add a chamfer. Let's see what looks appropriate. Maybe 0.05, that looks like a good chamfer. So add a chamfer of 0.05 and hit OK. So now we have this single block here. Not much of a puzzle yet. So we need to add some friends for this block. So yours would be named body 1. I have some other work where I made the case for this box, so just ignore that and assume that's body 1 right now. It's not going to matter too much for what we're about to do. So what I want to do is create a pattern. So right now I'm in the 3D modeling space. I'm in the solid modeling space rather than the sketch. So when I create this pattern that is a rectangular pattern, I'm going to select a body. I'm going to pick the body I just made, this cube, and then I get to pick my axes that it's going to extend that pattern on. So I'm just picking the lines it's going to extend on. So I'll pick one line here, and now I can start to extend this out, and I can also start to extend it up. I want all these to be just touching. So to do that, instead of my distribution being extent, similar to what we've talked about before, I want it to be spacing. And I want that spacing distance to be 0.75, since that is the distance from edge to edge of my cubes. Now we can see as we do that, they are all perfectly touching one another. And I can hit OK. And now we have 9 bodies, 9 different cubes, all in contact with one another. And I'm going to hit create pattern one more time, another rectangular pattern, but this time I'm going to select all of these bodies. So I'll pick the top one in my bodies, drop down, hold shift, click the bottom one, and it will select all of them. I've selected all of these bodies now, and I'm going to pick the axes that I want this to move along. So I'm just going to pick this axis so that I can pull them out to make my 9 faced cube of these. Again, I want this to be spacing, and instead of 1.2, I want this to be 0.75. Again, hit enter, and now we have a cube of cubes. So we have 3 times 3 times 3 bodies now, so we have 27 bodies. And what we are going to do is start combining these bodies. So to do that, I'm going to hit this combine tool, and then I'm going to pick some bodies. So this is where we're all going to be a bit different. Right now, these are 27 individual pieces. You're going to start attaching some of them so that they start to make a puzzle piece. So for example, I can grab these pieces, and now you see some of them are red because it wants to cut them. I'm going to have a join. So make sure you're on the join operation, and we do not want to keep tools. And then I'm going to hit OK. So it looks like nothing has happened, but in reality, this new body I just created at the bottom is actually made up of all, 5 of those squares. So I'm going to hide that now, since that is now part of a puzzle piece. And now I have these remaining 22 blocks. So I'm going to do the same thing, combine I'm going to select a few more. You can select as many or as few as you want. Just know that for your puzzle, it would make sense to select some larger pieces. If you have a bunch of small pieces like that are just two, the puzzle becomes easier. If you select a couple larger pieces, it makes it more difficult to put together typically. So just keep that in mind. And then in addition to that, I would not select something like down here, for example, because it is not technically touching the rest of those cubes. So just make sure they're touching on the face somewhere. So this looks good. What I'm doing next, again, join operation. I am not keeping the tools because I want them all to become this body that gets added at the bottom. I'm going to continue doing that and hiding the new puzzle piece I made so I see what other pieces I have left. So I'll grab those, join them, hide that new body. Let's see, we can grab these, join them, hide that. Oh, that wasn't the new body. So if you have trouble finding where the new body is, if I touch one of the pieces I just joined, it shows me the body by underlining it a little bit, so I can hide that. So as we get down to the bottom, I could grab this long piece of 5 cubes, but if I do that, I'm going to be left with 2 individuals and a double. So I don't want to quite add it in that way. So you just need to be a little bit more strategic on how you get these last pieces. So I'll grab those like that. Let's see, this is body 47 for me now. And then I think I'll grab all of these together to make them one final piece. So now all of my pieces are gone. So if I start to bring them in one at a time, I would have my cube again. It looks like I have 6 puzzle pieces. If this is difficult to look at, we can also go to our appearances by hitting the letter A, like we did last time, and we can add in paint color. So I can drag this red to that top piece, green to the second piece, blue to the third, add this gold to the fourth, white to the fifth, and then the last one can stay gray. So I get to see kind of where those pieces are fitting together in my puzzle. If you just need that visual, not important for what we're doing, but just so you can get more practice with changing the appearance of things, since you guys seem to be interested in doing that. So now I have my puzzle. I have all of these bodies. They're just going to be named body number, whatever they are. What you guys need to do now is you're going to rename each of these bodies. You're going to put your initials, and then you're going to put piece 1, and then you're going to put your initials. So rename piece 2, and do that for all of these. Piece 3. In addition to right-clicking and going to rename, you can also double-click and then click one more time. And I can type in piece 3 and then hit enter to save that name. Going down through these. Piece 5, and then finally piece 6 and hit enter. So I have all of my pieces numbered. At this point, what you need to do is right-click any of your pieces, hit save as mesh, and then you want it to look like this. You're saving that object. It should be STL binary format. The unit type should be millimeter. Even though we built this in inches, this unit type, the thing that cares about this is the program I use to send it to the 3D printer. So it always is going to be millimeter for us because that's what the 3D printer likes. So we're going to leave it at that, STL binary, millimeter. We have some additional refinement settings down here. Just set it to refinement of high, but for this model that shouldn't really matter. That would just make any curves we have be a bit smoother, but since these are all sharp angles, it would be fine at whatever it is. So at this point, STL binary, millimeter, hit OK. It'll pull up this window. it wants you to name it something. We already have our body name in there, so that's perfect. You are going to save this to your download folder by default. So it's going to have save to computer. In downloads, we're going to hit save. And we're going to do that for each of these. So save as mesh, save, going down through each of them, right-clicking the body, go down to save as mesh. These settings will stay. So after you set them once, they'll be where they need to be. By default, it's going to go to your computer's downloads folder. So we don't have to worry about anything going awry at this point. Save as mesh, okay, save, and then the final sixth piece, save as mesh, and save. So at this point, we're done with this file. You can just save it, and you can leave this file. Where you need to go to now is go to your Gmail account. You are going to, in the subject line, type IED, all capitalized, space, and then file. And you're going to email this to me at siderse@hoban. You're going to attach. You're going to go to your downloads, and you're going to see these pieces that I have just exported. So I have my pieces 1 through 6. You'll have whatever pieces you have. You're going to select them all and hit open. It's going to attach them to the email. And then the only other thing I need from you is to tell me what color you want your puzzle pieces to be. So we can talk about colors that are available in class, but in general, we always have the navy blue, we have gold, we have white, we have gray, black, red, blue, yellow are the ones that I'm trying to have in stock at all points in time. In addition to that, I have some other unique colors, so we can kind of see what those are. But for now, if one of those works for you, tell me what color you would like your pieces to be printed off in. Email that to me so that I can start printing those. Then if we go back to Fusion, these are going to be your puzzle pieces that are going to be printed off and you kind of fit them together. These are the cases that I've made that will hold them. So I haven't decided which one yet. Depending on what colors you guys choose, I might make you some cases that are matching those colors in some way, but can have that Hoban H on it still. So let me know what colors you want, put that in that email, send it to me, and that'll give me the files I need to start printing.